Alright, so shit is really starting to heat up regarding Sonic Frontiers. Okay, we are getting more leaks from the Sonic Frontiers demo booth, and we really need to get into this because we're seeing a ton of shit, and critics are giving their opinions, and they are saying good things. Okay, good things. And like they are hyping the shit up. They are hyping the shit up, okay? Like it is serious, okay? So we're gonna get into all of this right now. But if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please make sure to subscribe. We are trying to hit 100,000 subscribers and hopefully 70,000 subscribers before Sonic Frontiers comes out. So yes, in the previous video, we showcased all the leaks that were available at that time, which included seeing things like the HUD, seeing a little bit of a cutscene, seeing some of the open world, and seeing Sky Sanctuary in the cyberspace, which people are still saying it might not have been Sky Sanctuary, but let's face it, it's Sky Sanctuary, right? So we're just gonna go through the footage first, and then we're going to discuss what the critics are saying, because it's serious shit. Alright, so we got this clip here that shows Sonic in a cutscene. Looks like he's on the floor, kind of dead, giving off those Breath of the Wild vibes, of course. I don't really have much to say about this cutscene. I mean, it looks like a decent cutscene. I mean, I'm not gonna go ham on a potato quality version of the cutscene, okay? We've got this clip here that shows the open world, where we see Sonic hit a dash panel, and he turns really fast to the right, obviously trying to highlight the fact that they've improved the control from forces. Even though they did use forces as a base, they have put some work into improving it, right? But here's where things get interesting, because as we already know, Zippo basically said in his latest leak post that all the cyberspace levels are going to be taken from Generations, and we see basically a level that is Green Hill. And yes, some people are on the hopium copium saying that it's not Green Hill, but it's Green Hill. Come on, it's Green Hill. We don't get to see much of the level design. He just hits a spring and that's pretty much it. But yeah, we got to see a little bit of Green Hill. We got another clip that shows Sonic fighting one of the enemies in the open world, and it kind of feels like the Sonic version of a Thwomp if you see his ability, right? We got a screenshot of the HUD, and we see like an S in the middle right of the HUD, and obviously the speedometer we saw from before at the bottom right. I don't know if that's an S for Sonic or that's like a map, but I doubt the open world is shaped like an S. That's all I'm saying. Here we've got a better look at the HUD and the throne structure, so you can see like that diamond shaped thing in the HUD, and you got like a bunch of options and shit like that. Again, we can't actually read what's on there, but we can see the HUD. And with this clip, we get to see a little bit more of the cyberspace level, which appears to be Sky Sanctuary. We see him run and then go on the rails. And again, it's only a tiny bit of footage, so I can't really judge the quality of the level design. I wouldn't be surprised if it was, you know, better than Force's level design, but again, I don't think that should be the barometer, but that's what we are seeing. And then we got footage of Sonic falling off a cliff, and then them getting the game over screen and then spawning back into the open zone, which how the hell do you fall off the cliff? I mean, it's an open, I don't know. I mean, look, okay, I'm not gonna judge. Maybe it's tough, you know. I mean, I'm not saying I never died in Mario Odyssey, you know, just not in the first area. That's all I'm saying. And then finally, we got this tweet that says, could this be the Chaos Emerald or something? And it's very blatantly a Chaos Emerald. I don't know what something else it could be. It's a Chaos Emerald, which we knew that Chaos Emeralds were gonna be in the game, so this is no surprise. We got like a little animation showing it on screen. I'm guessing you just acquired one. But that is pretty much the footage that we have to show. But we've got two new reviews. One from IGN Japan, which gives a bunch of info on the game, and then one from some other person I don't know who was able to play the demo at the booth. And they are pretty glowing reviews. Let's just get into this right now. The Almighty Tales channel says various media got a chance to play the Sonic Frontiers demo at the Summer Game Fest in-person event. Here's a couple of transcribed notes we were able to obtain from IGN Japan's most recent walkthrough. Now remember, IGN, I guess regular IGN, gave their impressions separately, and that's the one we reacted to in that stream. That's a separate person, separate division of IGN or whatever. This is IGN Japan, so these could be completely different opinions. If you've seen a bunch of games on Metacritic, IGN Italy will have a different score than regular IGN. Like, they have their own little divisions, so this is not the same as the one from before. So it's obviously been translated, and it says here, Sonic gradually becomes faster throughout Frontiers via level up system, so speed upgrades confirmed. The tutorial, described as awkward, took around 15 minutes. Once the tutorial was over, the whole experience was described as phenomenal. The soundtrack changes when the player encounters an enemy. Yeah, just like Breath of the Wild, just like Unleashed, I guess. The level design in Frontiers is worth exploring. There were no non-playable characters in the demo, so no NPCs, which I find really weird to have an open world of no NPCs. Players can boost with the R2 button, and it was described as limited like the previous games. Which previous games had the boost limited? The only game that had the boost limited was like Unleashed, right? I mean, I guess limited in the sense that there is a gauge. It's not like unlimited that you could just hold it forever, right? But they're kind of designed in a way where you kind of can hold them forever. Are they saying that it really runs out here, or it's just the fact that there is a gauge? And then it says Amy will give the player a reward reward in exchange for the collectibles in Frontiers, which are shaped like hearts. So the hearts are not for health, because he was still losing his rings in the combat video that we saw. So the hearts are something to exchange with Amy in exchange for collectibles. Amy just wants Sonic's heart. That's all that we... Amy wants Sonic's heart. But yeah, IGN Japan is saying the experience was phenomenal. This is pretty crazy. And we've got one more review from the media, and this one... They don't really say too much about what happens in the game because of the NDAs and shit, but this person says, I saw the Sonic Frontiers demo, I can't say anything or I'll get nuked, but the game looks incredible in capital letters. The IGN stuff isn't doing this game justice. I'm feeling Game of the Year nominations. And then someone responds to something that a lot of us agree with and says, yeah, I watched the gameplay for it through IGN and I was not interested. I hope they got something more because that's why I lost interest in it. And they responded, trust me, you've seen nothing yet. And then someone else responds and says, do you think it will beat Kirby's first 3D game in terms of gameplay and story? Well, it's a Kirby game. And then this person responds, okay, I'll admit Kirby and the Forgotten Land is like one of my favorite games ever, though it does have problems. Frontiers is by far a better game. Although later goes on to clarify and says, from what I've seen, Frontiers has potential to be way better than Kirby and the Forgotten Land. However, it's possible they totally missed the landing. And again, bold claims given that Forgotten Land did pretty well on Metacritic. And then also says, as someone who's made her career through marketing, I can definitely say the marketing has been bad. I honestly would have marketed it a certain way I can't speak of, obviously because of the non-disclosure agreements. And as someone who played Kirby and the Forgotten Land, I just want to say that it is a solid game, but I feel like because Kirby is designed to be easy, I wasn't that stimulated. Like, I could appreciate the quality and effort put into the game, which I did stream on my non-Sonic channel, link in the description, but I feel like the game wasn't tough enough to appeal to me as much as people that want an easier game. But someone who's involved in marketing who was able to play the demo is basically saying we've seen nothing yet. And they're basically trying to say that the marketing has been shit. And I mean, while we know that the marketing has been shit, this is nothing new. Their marketing's always been shit. The fact that they're going as far as to say that the marketing is so shit that there's some good game hiding there, I don't know where, it's kind of a mindfuck. I'm not gonna lie, it is a mindfuck because like I want to be hyped for the game, but it's like when I think about what hypes me up for Frontiers the most, it's the things people are saying and not what's being shown. And that's not really a good thing in my opinion. Look, at the end of the day, shit marketing doesn't bother me if the game is good. I'd rather the marketing be shit than the game be shit, right? Because like IGN had their little impressions review before and they were saying such good things. I was like, oh my god, this sounds amazing. And these critics are saying great things as well. But then you look at the footage that they're showing and it's just like, no, it's like, I don't get what you're seeing. And they're saying, yeah, we've seen nothing yet. But again, this is why marketing is so important, right? At the end of the day, I don't know what they could potentially be hiding that is so amazing because we've seen a lot already. I mean, obviously we haven't seen everything, but we do know that the momentum is not going to be in the open world. We do know that they are going to be using Generations assets in the cyberspace levels. What we don't know is what the level design is going to be like in the cyberspace levels. And we've only seen a small amount of the level design in the open world, which so far that has been pretty automated. I'm not even saying the game needs momentum to be good because I'm not a momentum elitist like some people would have me believe. I just feel like momentum would work really well in an open world, and this is the kind of opportunity to showcase something like that, right? Because the boost games were not heavily focused on momentum. Even though games like Unleashed Generations did have momentum, it wasn't the major focus, and they were still good because they were well designed and they were actually challenging, especially Unleashed. So the gameplay, if it's not going to have momentum, it needs to be stimulating in some other way. And so far I haven't seen any stimulation in the level design, in the puzzles. The only stimulating gameplay I've seen is the combat. Stimulating in the sense that it respects the player enough that you have to put in actual effort to perform it, right? Not to say that I think it looks super interesting or anything like that. And I don't play Sonic games for combat, which is not to say I dislike combat, it's just to say that the movement is the most important thing and combat comes way afterwards, after like level design, interesting wacky environments, and of course music. And on the topic of rehashing levels, honestly, and this is just my personal opinion, I would have been better off had they rehashed environments for the open world instead of for the cyberspace. Because if you use Gen's levels in cyberspace, it's like we've already seen Green Hill in a linear form, we've already seen Sky Sanctuary in a linear 3D Sonic level form and in 2D and in 2.5D. But had they done Sky Sanctuary open world, it'd be like, okay, it's Sky Sanctuary again, but in a way that we've never seen before in an open world. If we did Green Hill in the open world, it would have been like, oh, it's Green Hill we've never seen before because it's always been in a regular linear level, now it's in the open world. world. Not saying I wanted green hill open world, but I'm just saying, to me, it would have been beneficial if they had used the original environments in the cyberspace and the rehashing in the open world. That's just me. Because I imagine City Escape, right? What sounds more interesting as someone who's played Generations for like hundreds of hours, seeing City Escape again as a cyberspace level versus them somehow reworking City Escape into like a big open world and it essentially becoming this game's version of Metro Kingdom. I don't know. Like, that's kind of what made Generations special. You had these old levels with the twist. You got to see levels that weren't in the boost format, obviously minus Rooftop Run and Planet Wisp. You got to see these levels that never came from boost games adapted to work in the boost. There was a difference. When you play Speed Highway and Adventure 1, it's a different experience from Speed Highway and Generations. But here, if we get Speed Highway again, it's going to be another boost version of Speed Highway. Then it just becomes which boost Speed Highway is better. But if it was Speed Highway Island, then all of a sudden it's like, okay, we've never had this before. This is an island version of Speed Highway. It's going to be crazy, right? So in terms of the rehashing, I could have accepted the rehashing, right? Just like I accepted it with Mania, even though I wasn't happy about it. If the gameplay is solid, I can tolerate things like that, right? But we need to see more of this game clearly. And if the marketing really is so shit that there's a good game hiding behind what we've seen already, then I'd love to see it, right? Because I want the game to be good. I still don't think it's going to be one of my favorite Sonic games or anything like that. I still think it'll be better than Forces, but how much better than Forces? I mean, we're yet to see, okay? I guess over the coming weeks, we'll see how bad the marketing really was, because we'll be able to see more footage and determine if the game is starting to look better or starting to look worse or starting to look more of the same. I mean, if the cyberspace levels were like masterpieces, then maybe it could carry the game, right? Although IGN referring to them as bite-sized has not given me much hope. I mean, obviously, if it's like a 40-second level that's amazingly designed, it's still gonna be fun, but we don't really know what bite-sized means to IGN, okay? But it's not the word I wanted to hear, is all I'm saying. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this. We've gotten a ton more leaked footage for the game. We've gotten more critic opinions, and it sounds like the words being spoken about the game are pretty high compared to the footage that we've seen officially for the game. Are you more or less hyped for Sonic Frontiers right now? And what do you think about my thing about the rehashing of environments? Would you have preferred that they rehashed environments for the open world and used the original environments in cyberspace? Or do you like the way they're doing it now, with the rehashed environments appearing in cyberspace and the islands being more original? And of course, a huge shout out to all my channel members. If you'd like to become a channel member, you can click the join button next to the subscribe button. But yeah, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell. Make sure to check out the non-Sonic channel. The link will be in the description. But that's all I have to say right now. So, Premy out.